Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on a sun catcher using these big white acrylic rings that was in my FOC. Now I've added some crystals and I've added this little dangle. This was actually in one of my other FOCs and I never used it, so we're going to use it here, as well as this big ball crystal. Now I have two of these ball crystals and I was going to use this one, but it's a little bit rough up here on top, so I'm not going to use that unless I do something else with it. So what we're going to do, well, let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. So I've got this 16 gauge wire. I'm going to make some jump rings out of it and make some big ones so we can go through the holes. And then this is going to hook on here. And then I'm going to take a Tinky Tot jump ring and put these two together so that hangs down below. Now I've got some odds and end beads here, and these are for making some bead strands. And so I'm going to make the bead strands with and I'm going to hang these bead strands inside here from off of my loop that we make. And I've got 3 different setups. Now this one doesn't have a large one, and I'm debating switching it to a large one. Would take this one out, and I need to get another large one of these beads if we're going to do that, because I'm just going to put these between our rings so that we can have that pulling it together. So like I say, we're going to need a little bit of different wire here to make the loop between them. I need one more of these. And the first thing we need to do is we're going to need to make our loops. Okay, I got 2 more of these beads so that they can go in between here. And then we have, oops, actually I think I have an extra one. That's fine, no problem. I'd rather have an extra than not enough. I thought I had some of the 3-inch wire here, but maybe I don't. Well, anyway, we'll get these things put together here first. We're going to start with one of these little guys. One of these fellows, and then we'll just choose whichever ones we want to go together here, like so. Oops, I forgot my spacer here. Okay. Now I'm going to make it a point to, when I put these together, to make sure that even though we're going to have this one at the bottom, we're going to have different colors for our next thing. So we'll go with the clear here and the green on top. So there's our next one. Now we have 2 greens, so what we need now is a one of these goldeny colored ones. and one of the clear. That way each of these has 2 of these colors throughout our sets here. So we're going to wrap these guys up, because when we make the jump rings to go into the between here, these are going to sit right in one of those jump rings, instead of trying to become part of the jump ring. We're just going to make them go on a jump ring, so that they are just a ring up. So there are those. Now we'll get those wrapped up. Cut the excess wire and tuck it in. So there's the first one. We'll just go up the line and get the others. There we go. So there are our 3 dangles, which will go in our rings here. So like in here. 2. And the third one's over here. So that'll go like that. This is going to go down here. This will hang like so. We're going to put one of these between each. This is an extra one, it looks like. Here's some other extras over here. And then we're going to put this big crystal, hook it to this ring that's here, with a tinky tot hooking those 2 together, and then it will hang down here. Now I'm probably going to take some of this chain off because it doesn't really need that much, but we'll see about that when we get to there. Now we need to make some pretty good sized rings here, because we want to make sure that they will go around our loops there, and that they'll give us plenty of space. So here is we've got some 16 gauge wire. I'm going to cut this little sharp end off the end before we start. And to make these round jump rings, we need a pair of we're going to make a really big one, so we need the biggest set of bell making pliers. Place this in here and just start rolling. Oops, not let go, but just start rolling. Now we need 6, so we want to make 6 loops. So just keep rolling all the way around. Until you make 6 rotations. And let's see if we've got 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, we need one more. And there we are at 6. So then what we do is we take our clippers, see about where they're at, and clip it off. This is excess wire now. So now what we want to do is just go right up the line, just sort of bump this against its buddy here, and cut. Bing. And just keep doing that till you have them all cut. So there we go. We have our 6 rings. Now the next thing we need to do is take our ring, and each one of them, because of the way they're cut, well, this one doesn't, it was our last one. They're going to have, one side is going to have that weird little notch, so you got to cut that off. And then you'll have to bring the jump ring back together. So we'll just go along and we'll get all these little notches cut off. Oop, dropped him. Okay, now that those are cut off, your ring is going to be slightly off, but you can work it till it gets back in place. See, so there we go. Those what our babies look like once they're all finished. Like I say, you can take these and just work them back together where the loop is apart. It's easier with pliers. I did the first one with fingers, but you just take and do a little forward pressure till you hear it scrape. Like so. And our last one. Oop. So there's our 6 rings, all ready to be put on. And put our first loop in here. And as you can see, it went in just fine. And then we're going to bring our baby together here. Now, this can be top, this can be bottom, whichever we want, wherever we want this. But you do have to remember that this one's going to get put on with a tinky top because we have to have it because of that spacing. But these are going to have to have some wire loops put in so that when we put them together, we can just open these back up just a hair's breadth and drop things onto them. For instance, we're going to put this one right here like this. Close this baby up, but it's not going to permanently close because I have to put the other crystal strand in here when I get it made. So that's how it's going to sit though. So now we will do the others. And I'm just going to put these on. And come on, baby. Now, why are you being difficult? The other ones went on just fine. Well, let's try you up here then. Go, scraped together there. interesting. Now I think these holes are all the same size, so I don't know why this one doesn't want to go through. Now I will, if I can't get one of these through, I will take my bead reamer and ream it a little bit. Oh, this one's being the same way. How strange. About this side. Huh. That first one cooperated so well. There we go. You're going to go on here. We'll close this one up. Now, if this doesn't want to sit the way you want it to, you can always take a jump ring and put a jump ring in there as well, which I may do because it seems to want to be a little stiff. That's all right. We know how to do these things. We have the technology. Now I could just close it right there because it is there, but there we go. I'd rather bring it around if I can. And since I've decided to use a jump ring to hang those bead strands, I'm not going to bother to put one in this one. We'll just get this one ready to go, and we'll put the other one on in a second. So that's, boy, that's not very mobile in there. Actually, because that one's not very mobile, I am going to take my reamer and ream this just a little bit on both sides to give it a little bit more of a wiggle for this one. Hopefully that will do it. Now, I don't usually use rounded jump rings, but this is one of those issues where you have to. An oval won't go through here, so come on, baby, slide on. There we go. Okay, so now we have these on here, but I am going to take them back off so that I can put them on with a jump ring, so they'll be a little more mobile here. Though they're pretty mobile right now, but I don't know. I just think they might look better with a jump ring. So I need to get a few jump rings out, as well as a couple of pieces of wire to put these pieces all together. Okay, I've gotten 2 3-inch pieces of wire. So we're just going to bend one side over. Take our bell making plier. I used the stepped one for this. And because we don't need a huge loop, we're just going to use the bottom one there. Bring it around. Do the same with this one. Bring it around. Now we're we're going to do a couple of wraps on this baby. Now, since that's just a big jumbo jump ring there, I don't have to make sure they wrap together. Wrap this one up. Gotta hold it tight because if it loosens up, it doesn't want to behave at all. And it's going up above again. See, it wants to wrap on the wire above it instead of in its own spot. We don't want that to do that. So we're going to work it some. So now we'll get that there. So that's all tucked in there on this one. So now we'll put one of these beads on. And then we're going to make another loop on the other side. So I want these to be facing the same direction. So we'll do it this direction. Get our bell making pliers in there. Up and over and around. Bring her down and over. And now we want to hold those two wires together tightly, and then we will wrap it up. Now see, it's still trying to slide off of my plier here. Okay, now we have one of these done. Like I said, we have to get another wire to finish it up, the other side, but what we want to do is we're going to open one of these loops back up, just a little. We're going to take this off because we're going to put it on with a jump ring. Then this is going to go here, close her back up, now you see how that changed its shape a little bit. We want to go and make sure it stays where we want it. So there is this one, and it's going to hook on not to one of these, but to one of these. So we'll open this one up just a little bit. It doesn't need a lot because it just needs enough for this baby to go on here. And then we'll close this one back up. Again, this one is a little bit out of wonk, so I'm gonna fix it. And here is our hook together one. Now we can put one of these now we need to make the other one to put one of these strands on. Like I say, I'm going to get a jump ring here and hook this one up. Get a jump ring and hook this one up. And we do have to make this. So I have got another 3-inch piece of wire here. So let's get this last one made up so we can put it in with our hook these together here. So let's go here, around and over, bring her down and around, lollipop it up. Now we need to do our wraps. And hopefully this time it's going to cooperate a little better. So we're going to put this here, wrap this up, Now the other one I wrapped all the way, but I think I only got 3 wraps on that one. And I think that's what we got about now. So I'm going to trim this off, making sure I don't have anything other than that last wire in, because I gave myself a really sharp spot here before by accidentally nicking our base wire. And I just crookeded that. But we'll straighten it up. Okay. So now we need to put this baby on. We want our wire to be facing the same direction, so we'll make our loop here. Up and over and around. Bring her down and over. Straighten her up. Now we'll hold it as we wrap it up. I will trim this wire off and tuck it in. There we go. Now our next step is to put these two rings together here, from here to here. We have to take this baby out of here because we have decided that it's going to go on a jump ring. So we'll just open this baby up, take this off, put this on instead, and close this up. Hello, calculator. I don't need 33, but go ahead. You'll go up back where you belong. Okay, so now we've got this one on here. We need to put it onto here as well. So we'll open this baby up a little bit and slide our bead on. Now we're going to close her back up. And our piece is connected. Ta-da! Now we need to get some jump rings and put these 3 hanging from these 3, and then we need to hook this guy to here and put it on here. And lastly, I need to decide how we're going to hang this. I probably will use some kind of a ring. I have a split ring key ring here, which we could put up at the top. And we actually could even put this this other bead up here, since I do have an extra here to hook this to. We'll see what we decide once we get the other things put together. So the first thing we want to do is I want to find some of my jump rings. I almost got silver. I want gold. There we go. So we want... I don't need that many, but we'll just leave them there until I'm done with what we're doing. We'll get one of these open. Grab one of these and hook it to our big jump ring here. And then we'll close her back up. And I think that's going to hang and swing a little better, don't you? So there we go with the first one. I think since this greenish teal color is such a dominant color, we're going to put it at the bottom. So they are a little separated, but that's all right, no biggie. Now the second. and our third. Now that one spread a little bit, so we need to bring it back together some. There we go, and then squish it back into place. So there we go. We have these all on, like so. And now we need to put this down here on the bottom, and I'm not sure if this particular jump ring will go through this little chain. Let's hope so. Let's give it a try. And I don't want all this chain because the next one down is not very far. I mean, is a little bit, well, see, I don't want all this extra chain hanging because we have these little pieces here. So I just want to get through like the third or fourth one up. If it'll go on. In fact, it probably would have been easier to hang this with the extra chain already off, because then I wouldn't have the chain in the way when I was trying to put it on the end. So I think I'll just go up like 1, 2, 3 and cut this chain off right here. Come on, you. Get hold of you. Now I should be able to slide this jump ring in much easier without the other link. Yeah, it went through a lot easier. Okay, now I want that little ring in the front, so we want to swing it on right here. Now let's make sure I have it on the front. Yep, and I could have cut a little more chain on, because see how much extra there is right there? It's all right, I guess. Of course, if I decide that's too much, I could also spin up one of these and hang it in here too, and that would take up some of that space. But the last thing we want to do here right now is get a Tinky Tot. And I think that that's big enough. I hope it is. If not, we'll have to switch it to the other. And what I want to do is I'm going to go over this jump ring here that's in our little dangle piece, and then go through our the jump ring that's on our crystal. I'm not sure it's going to let us go do both. I hope it will, but it's wanting to. There it goes. Now we close this baby up. And I make sure that this one's closed, the silver one that's on this ball, because I didn't check it before and it looks a little bit loose. There we go. So now this is going to, this hangs now. Come on, baby, hang right there. Like that. Okay, so I have gotten a little regular head pin. We're gonna have to decide which color I want to use, and because I am going to put another one up in our strand here, because I think it would look better with one more in here, since they're just a little bit gaps, and just hang it right up here at the top. And oh, there's a brown, there's a gray, the clear one here. We don't want the, well, the clear one actually would throw more rainbows though. So let's go with the clear one. It's going to throw some rainbows, so let's go with it. Uh-oh, does it want to fall off this pin though? Better on this side. So now, ordinarily I don't make this kind of loops, but everything else down here is a simple loop, so we're just going to bend it over here. Cut it off most of the way. And then I'm going to get my round nose pliers, and we're going to twist it up to a simple loop. Now this one is put directly on. This one's got a jump ring. I may put a Tinky Tot jump ring right here and put it, or I could just, actually that will work just fine. We're just going to open up this original jump ring here. And slide this guy on here. Close it back up. Okay. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these away for one thing. Is we're going to put this other crystal up here and go onto this split ring. So we'll just bend this over, get our bell making pliers, right here, go up and around and over, bring her down, bring her over, bring her up a little bit, grab hold, and wrap. Okie dokie. It's a little crooked, but we can straighten that. Okay, on with you. We'll bend you over. Bring our bell making pliers back in, go in here, up and over and around. Bring her down, bring her over. Pliers, grab hold, and cut this baby off, tuck it in. Okay. So now we're going to open this loop back up that's up here in this one. Where are you, loop? I don't even see you. Oh, there it is. Slide this baby onto here. Close it up. Okay. Now we have just one step left to go. And that is to put our... Now I didn't make a big loop for the split loop, so it's gonna need something a little bit bigger. And I do have some gold split ring little ones, and that's what we'll use. So just a second, I gotta go get one of those. Okay, so I got this little split ring here, so we'll just open it up. Actually, where are my split ring pliers? Let's just use those. They can be very handy sometimes if your thumbnail doesn't feel extra strong. So let's poke that in there. I'm gonna go through this baby. Pull it around. Come on. All the way. There we go. Last little bit went through. Now we have to put it on this split ring, which I just did with my thumbnail that time. So now our sun catcher is finished. So it's sort of hard to hold it this way to show it to you, so we'll have to, so it's going to go like though, and then this little piece will be hanging down at the bottom. And I think I have it twisted up here, but it's like that. I know you can't see it, so we're going to flip, and we'll show you when I show it to you standing up. So here we go. Here's our sun catcher. The pretty little dazzles in our rings. Now the rings are from my Found Objects Challenge Kit from Thunderhorse Descendant. Now this is something that the what we call ourselves the Thunder Chatters, which are subscribers to Randy's channel, and we came up with this idea a long time ago, and Randy instigates this. She makes a package of items, and well, you never know what's going to come in them because they're found objects. A lot of these are already been used. These rings were used in something before because they were dirty and I had to clean them. So that is what is from the kit. The rest of it, well, this little piece right here down at the bottom was from a different kit. It was a dangle that came off something, I can't remember what, but there it is. There is our sun catcher. Didn't that turn out pretty? I like it. I hope you like it too. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and again, we've been using rings from, the rings are from my Found Objects Challenge Kit from Thunderhorse Descendant, and the crystal and all the pretty beads are from my stash. So this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I had fun making this sun catcher. I hope you did too. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.